Good evening and welcome to Cumbre Sports Facility for the clash that promises to be an exciting game of futsal. It's Inter-Perth taking on Cumbre at the home of Cumbre. It's top of the table with first taking on second and massive title implications tonight. Cumbre has been a powerhouse all season, but they'll be facing the ultimate challenge tonight against the only team who has beat them in this summer season, being Inter-Perth. And Inter-Perth also seems to have Cumbre's measure. Over the last few times they've come up against Cumbre, they've found ways to do what most other teams haven't been able to do, and that is to get the 3 points against them. And Inter will be looking to do the same here tonight. Currently, Inter-Perth are on 43 points with Cumbre just behind on 42. Cumbre do have a game in hand though, so this game is absolutely crucial and may decide who wins the minor premiership. We're about to get underway, so we'll just run you through the lineups. For Cumbre, it's Christian Rosano, 33, Tyler Garner, 2, Will Hayes, 8, Connor Cruz, 6, Charlie Garnham, 5, Karim Yusuf, 10, Nesta Fonseca, 17, Rain Blauberg, 78, and Reed Thompson, 99. And for Inter, it's Ahmad Jahel, 8, Nishane Alagoda, 59, Ches Houston, 5, Lukman Sayed, 7, Anthony Elmuchuk, number 40, Marco De Philippus, 67, Amri Azimi, 89, Yanis Hamadi, 19, Gabe Reynolds, 58, Raiden Tran, 78, Betam Zeba, 2, Sam Luxton, 4, and Reeve Wild, number 23. And we are underway. And that ball out into touch immediately. You can expect an extremely intense clash tonight between two teams fighting for top spot. And it'll be brought in here by De Philippus. De Philippus to Houston, the captain tonight. Long ball straight over the head there of Houston. And it'll be taken here by Cumbre. Rosano. Long ball here from Thompson, ends up with Jahel. Jahel inside to De Philippus, back to Houston. Cumbre have won the minor premiership, I believe the last 4 seasons, pretty much every single season they've been in the Supa-Liga. And a big chance early for Garnham. Can he beat Tran? He might be able to. Tran gets a save. Jahel gets in there and cleared away there by Houston. But yes, 4 seasons that Cumbre have been in the Supa-Liga, and every single time, with obviously keeping in mind last season was a conference type setup, they've finished on top every season, and Inter will be looking to win tonight, and if they do, it'll go a long way towards not letting it happen again. Down goes De Philippus, and a foul called there on Tyler Garner. De Philippus. Back roll to Houston. Houston, nice cut outside with Garner defending. Good long ball, but just out of the reach of Alagoda, and it'll be taken here in goals by Christian Rosano. Rosano to Garnham, and miscommunication there. Garner not happy there with Thompson. Thompson was moving around and Garner wasn't happy, accusing him of not paying attention, but just a bit of a miscommunication. Nice cut inside by Jahel, and almost finding the back of the net. There's a massive gap right now between the top 3 being Inter, Cumbre and the Cobras and the rest of the competition. So those 3 teams are fighting over to see who can finish on top. And Cumbre will be looking towards winning this game, as they also do have that game in hand. Nice work there by Houston getting back. De Philippus, Alagoda back roll and does well. Houston out to Jahel. Jahel cuts it inside, beats Garner, beats Garnham, beats Thompson, and what a goal that would have been. Now a chance on the counter, and Jahel, not only can he do the attack, he can get there defensively, but they're going to be punished. Massive mistake. Thompson wins the ball back, and it's finished by Hayes. And that brilliant bit of play by Ahmad Jahel was all for naught, as the turnover, inexcusable turnover, I think it was Tran, just placed it on a platter for Thompson, who found the back post. And Cumbre get the early lead here in Port Kennedy. Massive, massive mistake. And a 2-goal turnaround, because Jahel was inches away from right now, Inter having the lead. And here is Jahel, gets a shot off and almost beating Tran and beating Rosano immediately. And out into touch, but Jahel had a strong start so far tonight. Here's a chance for Ghana. Can he keep it in? Just can. Yes, that is correct. They did lose last winter. I was referring more towards finishing on top of the table. I believe they finished on top of their conference and then lost that first final. But yes, in terms of the actual premiership, the Cobras did win that winter season last season, beating Inter Perth in that grand final. That ball out into touch. Taken here by Ghana. There's a big chance already that Cruz gets a shot off, and that just caught the outside of the post. And almost 2-0 for Cumbre, but just unable to finish. And this has been a very intense start, as you'd expect, between two teams of this calibre. Houston will go long, ends up with Alagoda, gets a shot on the left, and another save by Rosano, who has been called upon to make a number of huge saves to start this game this evening, and he's been up to the task every single time so far. Down the line goes Ghana, beats Alagoda with ease. He's got Hayes at the back post. It's going to be 2-0 Cumbre. And Cumbre off to an absolute flying start here at Port Kennedy. And that was Ghana going down the line. And Inter have got a lot of work to do to get back into this game now. It's taken less than 3 minutes of futsal, and it's been absolutely clinical by Cumbre. Can Inter find a way back into this game? Alagoda across to Houston, cuts it through the middle. Nice slide there from Cruz. But Hayes in the end gets that final tackle on Houston. Houston not happy, wanting a foul to be called. In fact, it's going to be a Cumbre ball now. Must have caught Houston on the way through on the tackle. Rosano just out of the reach there of Cruz. Tran to taking goals. Long ball, gets it to Houston and immediately getting the shot off. And I must say, despite the 2-0 lead for Cumbre, Inter have had a number of opportunities, just haven't been able to put it past Rosano. And really the two chances that Cumbre have had, they've gone bang bang, and they now have a 2-goal lead. And down goes Thompson. Foul will be called on Inter, and there is some work to do. Fonseca to take. Goes all the way back to Rosano. Shot from Rosano, almost beating Tran. Follow up, Thompson. Back to Fonseca. Goes all the way back now to Ghana. Garnham gets it through to Reed Thompson. Fonseca. Ghana. Through, finds Thompson. Can he get a shot off? Decides to back roll all the way to Fonseca, who just gets there in time. And he will reset with all the experience he does have. And a bit of a push there from Syed, but I must say Fonseca did go down fairly easily there. And nothing called, and that's brilliant by Tyler Ghana. And almost makes it 3-0. And it's been an explosive start so far to this game. Hamadi, Houston loses it, and Ghana goes all the way back to Rosano. A few players missing for Cumbre tonight. Justin Tang not here. That flick over the top. Looks like it's going to be a Cumbre ball. But Justin Tang, being a player of note, not here. Karim Youssef also not playing, but for Inter. Dan Formato obviously not in goals with that injury a few weeks ago. Also missing Devon Rendell, who I believe potentially still serving out that suspension. Back roll from Syed, shot from Houston, big save. Just thumping that away. Prediction saying Inter win 6-4. They've got some work to do, definitely a possibility. And to be fair, despite the deficit, they've had their fair share of chances if they can just make the most of them. Fonseca out to Garnham. Garnham back post just behind Garner. And that would have made it very difficult for Inter. Long ball. I think Thompson got a head on that. Hamadi with the last touch. And a goal throw for Rosano. Rosano with a long ball. Will Hayes waiting. Can't keep it in. Just too much on that from Rosano. Not a whole lot off, but just cramped up Hayes on that far sideline. Here's Hamadi. Nice feint. Goes back to Jahel. Ends up with Rosano. Hayes, great ball through. Finds Thompson. Thompson down the line with Syed to beat. Squeezes it through and ends up with Jahel. Jahel now, he's got that speed and he did well. Almost got past Hayes, but Hayes up to the task. Manages to put it out into touch. Alagoda. And Syed will leave that off the touch there from Reed Thompson. Here's Syed. Gets it to Jahel. Jahel tries to squeeze through, two defenders can't. Garner on the counter. Resets. Gets a shot off himself and saved there by Tran. Was going to be just off target, but Tran comfortably grabbed it anyway. Alagoda to Jahel. Thompson wins it. Fonseca. Thompson is back to Fonseca and now Garner. Down the line, Thompson there, can't keep it in. Nice defence from Yanas Hamadi. Hamadi can't get it to Jahel. And ball out into touch and one for Cumbre there. Nice work there by Reed Thompson. And Fonseca to take. Fonseca and almost Tyler Garner just going over that crossbar, but not a whole lot of distance between that ball and the goals in the end. Inter get a lifeline and Tran will take. Gives it to Alagoda, tries to go down the line, does get it past Garner. Still going Alagoda, can he keep it in? He does. What a play by Nishan Alagoda! Almost just across the face of goals. He did have Hamadi at that back post as well, but unbelievably, initially Garner got a touch on it, but Alagoda kept on going and then managed to get past that second defender down the line, keeping it in by an inch. And he has been known to do that a fair bit, taking it down the line and often finds a way to finish. Here's a turnover from Fonseca, but he wins it back, mops up his mess. 2-on-1, if Alagoda can't get there, Hayes. Just lost his footing. Jahel fighting with it was Hayes who wins it. Garner gets a shot off and way wide left. The turnover ends up with Garner. Rosano. Garner. Garner, can you get a shot off? We will. You know, that is correct. They did lose in winter. They finished top on their conference, but went down in the first final. And it was Inter going down to the Cobras in the grand final. Brilliant move by Hamadi, beating Garner and almost finishing on the line was Garner. And I think that last touch from Hamadi just didn't get enough on it. He had a wide open goal. And the shot there goes high. Balls of a 3-3 draw. And I must say, Inter seemingly having more of the opportunities. It's just been those 2 goals for Cumbre, really. I'd say Rosano's probably made more saves than Tran. Here is Garnham, goes back to Fonseca, and can't get it there to Hayes. I think the target was Garnham, just couldn't reach it. Azimi, Sayed to Alagoda, Jahel, nice flick. Can Sayed get there? He did, but couldn't wrap it around enough. It's a Cumbre ball. Garnham through the middle, beat on it there from Azimi, and a Cumbre possession again. Good to see though, Inter haven't dropped their heads. It can be very easy to be rattled after the start that Cumbre did have, and that's a great ball. Cruz put it into a dangerous spot, but Jahel reads it well. Now he takes off on the far flank, still going Jahel, and Connor Cruz gets the last touch, and it'll be taken here by Alagoda. On comes De Philippis for Inter. Shot just wide of the goals, but a corner to be taken from Inter off of that deflection. Alagoda can't get it through. Ends up with Rosano, long ball, and a good one. Can Garnham punish on the counter? Gets it into a dangerous spot almost, but Jahel did just enough to stop that ball from going across the face of goals. Fonseca. Hayes with a shot, blocked by Azimi. Whoever does win this game almost has a 2-game lead. As we'll just get the shot off there by Hayes, but whoever does win this game almost theoretically has a more than a 1-game lead on top of the ladder with the game in hand, if you assume that they do win that game in hand. Obviously, a few challenging games coming up though for both teams. Long ball there by Azimi. De Philippis uses his chest well, goes back to Houston now. Jahel. Jahel cuts it back on Fonseca, and in comes Garnham, clearing that into the crowd. Jahel. Houston almost deflects in. That was off De Philippis. But Rosano, once again, up to the task tonight. He's come to play. That long ball by Cruz, comfortably picked off by Houston, who uses De Philippis. Back to Houston. Jahel, and Cumbre really trying to not let Inter possess that ball. Garnham. Back to Fonseca, long ball, head on it there by Houston. De Philippis gets to it. Houston, can he keep it in? He can, and wraps around Hayes. Now Fonseca is using his body with ease. Long ball by Rosano, turnover. Here's a chance for Inter. Jahel can't get it to Azimi, and now Garner on the counter. Blocked from De Philippis, and a foul will be called on Garner. And it did appear that he pulled him down, and De Philippis, the recipient of the foul call, and a yellow given to Reed Thompson. Must have been words there between him and referee, or something of that nature. He received a yellow anyway. De Philippis down the line, finds Azimi. Azimi cuts it through 2 defenders, and Garner got a touch on that. Thompson can't keep it in, and that'll be an Inter ball. Azimi to De Philippis with a shot, and catches the crossbar. Houston, and unbelievable that they have not been able to find one goal yet, Inter, with the chances that have been so close. And great shot there, straight into the middle of the crossbar. And Cumbre still hold that 2-goal lead. Long ball by Rosano, not going to trouble anyone. It's long by Tran. Over the heads of everyone, ends up with Rosano. Ball out into touch. Rosano finds Fonseca. Fonseca to Thompson. Dangerous spot here, but Houston in the right place at the right time just clears that away. Fonseca will bring it in from touch. Rosano. And passes wayward. Garnham not happy with the ball. Can be taken here by Tran. De Philippus, good long ball, finds Betham Ziba, who is now on, playing that target role for Inter. De Philippus. Jahel with Fonseca to beat, does well, gets it to De Philippus, but Fonseca uses that experience to win it back. Gets it out to Thompson, back to Fonseca. All the way back to Rosano. Garner. Is back to Fonseca. Now Thompson tried to find Fonseca down the line, but first half of futsal here. Shot on the left, blocked by Garner. Jahel tries to squeeze it through. Massive chance for De Philippus. Big save again from Rosano. Garner goes down, nothing called. Ends up with Thompson. And Cumbre will reset. Garnham, Thompson, Garnham, and Thompson again. Now Garner goes long and finds Garnham. What a ball by Tyler Garner. And we'll just have a momentary stop. The shot from Garnham catching Tran just in the face. So great save there by Tran, preventing a potential 3-2 nothing lead. Inter aren't immune to coming back from behind. They've been down a number of games throughout this season and found ways to get back into it. So a long way to go in this game, but it'll be a corner here for Tyler Garner. Garner to bring it in. Long ball all the way back to Rosano. Rosano to Garner to Hayes. Shot wide. And Inter will reset. Here's Betham Ziba. Wins the battle with Yusuf. Ziba back to De Philippus. Now Alagoda has Houston out wide. Takes a shot himself. Blocked by Yusuf. Houston resets. Tran with a long ball. Always going to be a hard one, that for Ziba to control. So Inter will maintain possession though. Taken here by De Philippus, just under 8 minutes to go in the first half. De Philippus, got to get rid of it quickly. And looks like Jahel, they've already brought out the fifth man, Inter. It's first half and they've brought out the fifth man showing intent. Yusuf, though, can punish immediately. Thompson stopped on the line by Syed. Somehow, Inter survived. There was no keeper there. Obviously, Jahel had that ability to play keeper, but it was Syed on the line. And a bit of fortune there for Inter. And Cumbre trying to play that high press, not allow the fifth man to get out. Great pressure by Yusuf on Houston, who goes long. Good use of the body there by Thompson. And that will be a Cumbre ball. Ball just went out into touch with the Philippines pursuing. Garner through to Hayes, now outside to Rosano, who goes long, straight to his opposition keeper in Tran. Tran, Alagoda, Syed, long ball through, doesn't get through to the Philippines. Not quite. The touch from Garner did just enough. Yusuf, Hayes, Thompson. Back roll to Hayes. Can't squeeze it through. Nice work there by Alagoda. Gets a shot off. And the block by Garner. Here's Alagoda to bring it in. Gives it to Syed. Houston. Nice flick. Jahel controls it well. Great ball through. And Hamadi probably should have just took it himself there. I think he thought Jahel was going to keep moving and tried to find him on the run, but Jahel hadn't moved to the spot he was looking for Hamadi. Here's Hayes. Can he get it to Rosano? He can't. Rosano can't keep it in. Going to be taken here by Hamadi. Hamadi, Alagoda, one back by Hayes, who takes a shot and he's finished it. Cumbre take a 3-goal lead and Will Hayes. They're never easy to finish despite not winning goals, but he put it on target and this is starting to look very grim for Inter. Will they continue playing the fifth man? You'd think it looks like they're going to. With Jahel not changing kit. Nice run by Garner and a foul will be called. And a yellow to be given to Hamadi. And the way that Hayes curled that from right to left, it never really looked like missing. As Garner is down, hopefully all is okay for Tyler Garner. Garner just getting a bit of attention. Hopefully he's okay. Cumbre, probably you would, looking at the quality that they do have on their team, they do come into every season as one of, if not the favourite, and Inter have come out here tonight looking to down them, but it just hasn't gone their way so far, despite the fact they have been quite competitive, but just haven't been able to put those finishing touches on. We'll have a quick timeout now and we'll be back with you very shortly. And we are back. 6.5 minutes to go in the first half here down at Port Kennedy. And Tyler Garner is all good. Fonseca will take the free kick. Fonseca almost gets it through, but Houston gets a last touch on it on that last line. Will that be a corner or a side ball? Looks like a corner for, in fact, a side ball for Fonseca. Fonseca to Garnham. It almost makes it 4, but Tran does just enough. And another corner here. This time will be a corner. Fonseca tries to get it to Garnham, cleared away by Saeed. Looks like the 5th man won't be brought out anymore, with Jahel looking to come probably back on soon as an outfield player. That ball goes long and wide. Hamadi, Alagoda tried to get it long. Houston was the target, but nice block there from Cruz. Tran goes long. Hamadi, that's a great ball to Hamadi. Tried to finish it on the outside of his boot. Probably just needed to control it for a bit and then get the shot off, but great ball there by Tran. Rosano, long, Garnham. Might be a turnover here. Houston comes in. It is one. Alagoda's touch was heavy. Garnham, Hayes, long, ends up with Tran, who clears it. It's a Cumbre ball. Cruz to Hayes, back to Cruz. Now Garner, good ball to Hayes. And they found him, he just couldn't turn around and finish it. Retaken here by Alagoda. Houston. And almost finished. Big turnover, and Garner, can he make him pay? Somehow twice denied. And Tran does just enough. Long ball, Alagoda, cleared away by Garner. But still into with a chance. Alagoda. Syed's shot. In fact, I think he might have been trying to find the back post there. Hamadi cleared away. Corner now for Alagoda. Alagoda, Syed, can't get it through. Chance now. Great ball by Garner, finds Garner. He has Cruz, but couldn't get it to him. Syed just came in at the right time. Did just enough to force a corner for Cumbre. Garner to take the corner. Long ball, Hayes tried it on the volley. Similar spot to where Adam Cooper scored a volley from against Braza a few weeks back. And that's going to be Hayes to take from touch. In fact, it looks like it'll be Tyler Garner collecting. Gives it to the keeper in Rosano. Rosano thinks about having a shot himself, and he does, but wide. Tran. Syed to Houston. That high press is causing problems for Inter. Long ball turnover immediately, and they just don't have the answers right now to Inter Perth. Long ball doesn't get to Garnham. In fact, it did, but Syed gets a boot in. Garnham to take. He leaves it for Hayes. Hayes to Garner. Back to Hayes. Now Garner goes long, ends up with Tran. Hamadi, nice bit of high press play there from Hayes. On comes Jahel for Enter. Houston. Takes it across the face of goals. What can Inter put together here? Here's Jahel. Nice little flick by Hamadi, doing brilliantly, but did everything right until that last play. One bat from the Hayes turnover by Jahel. Bit of holding from Yusuf, nothing called. Shot saved by Rosano. Hamadi now. Jahel almost just mistimed his shot. Garnham. Yusuf. Nice work there by Omulchuk, putting pressure on. And last touch there off of Jahel. Thompson through to Garnham, back to Garner. Rosano. That was a tough ball to control for Yusuf, and a chance for Hamadi, just going wide, and he went down hard, but just haven't been able to make the most of those chances, have Inter. Otherwise, this game could very easily be a lot closer than what it is. Fonseca, Yusuf. Fonseca, high press here from Inter. Nice work by Omulchuk, winning the ball back. Chance. Can Inter get possession back? No. Omulchuk does. Omulchuk again. And Thompson, and that goes out into touch. Taken here by Omulchuk. Jahel waiting. Jahel. Houston, back to Jahel. Shot goes wide. And Rosano to take the goal throw. Long ball over the head of Houston. Gets to Garnham, but Houston gets back. Garnham controlling that ball well in that corner. Tries to get it to Hayes, cleared away by Jahel. And Fonseca goes to collect and take. 3 minutes to go in the first half. And that long flick by Fonseca goes way over everyone. Not the result he was after. Tran, long ball, Omulchuk tries to flick it to Reynolds. Rosano clears it. And Inter will set up again from defence. Jahel, Houston, long ball, and no one there. Straight over Reynolds and Fonseca's heads. And that's going to stay with Cumbre. Fonseca to bring it in, gives it to Garnham, back to Fonseca. It goes to Rosano. Rosano, nice ball through, but Jahel just read it well enough. Hayes now setting up along with Garnham, Fonseca and Thompson. Garnham, Fonseca to Garnham. Now will Hayes, out wide to Thompson, tries to get it back to Hayes, no. Decides to go to Fonseca instead. Takes Jahel down the line, but Jahel uses his body well. And a foul called on Nestor Fonseca. That's 3 fouls to each team. And that ball goes long and out into touch. Taken by here by Rosano. Long ball gets to Garnham. Garnham goes all the way back. Fonseca. Hayes gets it to Thompson. Garnham, Fonseca again. Nice high press there from Jahel. Doing just enough. Rosano now. Just under 2 minutes to go. Inter would love more than anything to get one back here. Here's Fonseca. Just lets that roll straight now into the hands of Christian Rosano. Rosano goes long, gets it to Cruz. Cruz with a shot. And straight across the face of goals, and Inter will take the ball back. Houston to take. Thompson, flick over the head. Azimi does well. Jahel, Thompson gets it to Hayes. He tried to find Thompson again, but too far in front of him. Back goes De Philippis to Azimi. Now Tran. Long ball. Hayes gets a head on it. Fonseca has the run of Hayes, gets it to him. Brilliant ball. But De Philippis just got there. It was brilliantly crafted the way he curled it around off the outside of his boot. Cumbre just couldn't quite pull it off though. Jahel, touch there from Azimi, and Cumbre starting to assert their dominance on this game now. They already had the dominance on the scoreboard, but they're really starting to put a lot of pressure on this Inter Perth attack. Cruz, nice work there by Azimi. Thompson loses it. Here's a chance for Inter, but it's a 1-on-3. So Houston decides to retreat. Goes now to Jahel. Houston, 30 seconds to go. Tries to get around Hayes. Hayes just puts it straight into touch. We take it here by Ches Houston. Just a bit of sweat being wiped up off the court now as Houston went down. Houston to bring it in. Azimi, good ball to De Philippis. Contact from Fonseca, but nothing called. They are on 4 fouls, Cumbre, so they do need to be careful. To be fair, there's only 20 seconds to go, so probably not much to be concerned about. Azimi down the line. Can't squeeze it through to Houston. Thompson does just enough. 12 seconds exactly for Inter to try and find one goal back to potentially start a comeback. De Philippis. Thompson does well. Goes long now. Jahel, 8 seconds. Azimi, shot saved by Rosano. Rosano takes, this goes long, and that will do us for the first half here between Cumbre and Inter Perth. It is a 3-0 lead to Cumbre, who scored 2 goals early and then found a goal to punish the 5th man when Inter did bring that 5th man out. We'll be back with you in a few minutes for a second half of futsal, and this game has a lot of action left to come.
Futsal WA has social futsal competitions 5 nights a week in Mount Lawley and West Perth. Whether you're an individual or have a group of mates who want to play, there's a junior, men's, women's or mixed competition that will suit you. Contact us to get involved in futsal, an action-packed sport and the fastest growing sport in Australia.
To John, tries to reset play. Do so. Here's Azimi that time. Jahel from range, and Mark Jahel finds the back of the net, makes it 1.
Give it off with a chance for the Condors to get one back. And here's a chance for a shot. Massive save by Gav Murray. And we are back for the second half here at Port Kennedy. So the report from Subiaco is that it is currently 2-2 between South Perth and Stirling Brazza in another game that has massive finals implications. But this game, it's all up to Inter now to get back into it as the shot from Jahel goes wide. And now Blauberg comes on. Rosano didn't do much wrong, and it's gone all the way in. But off the throw from Blauberg. Hayes calling, or asking, pleading that it was touched, but definitely didn't appear to be. But if Rosano didn't do anything wrong in the first half, but Blauberg comes on and that shot is wide, as they often do have that 50% split of minutes between Rosano and Blauberg. De Philippus gets it to Jahel. Azimi, Jahel again, under Garnham pressure, Alagota, still under Garnham and Hayes pressure now, and Inter will have to bring it in from touch. There's a long ball, all the way back goes Garner, Blauberg goes long, finds Garnham brilliantly, back roll, Hayes, cuts it inside, big save by Tran, but Garnham, does he finish? Almost through the legs of Tran, but a massive save. And you'd think 4-0 might be too much to overcome if 3-0 isn't already. So Tran had to make that save and he did just that. De Philippus can't get it through to Jahel. Cleared away by Garner. De Philippus, Alagota. Back to De Philippus. Thompson putting on some pressure. Still putting on pressure, wins the ball back now. Hayes, Thompson, and now Garnham. And Cumbre will steady and start to focus on that ball movement. Long ball there from Garner though. Too far ahead of Garnham. Now Tran with a long ball, that looks pretty good. But Garner just getting there in time, clears it away. Shot, deflection off of the shot by Alagote, by Amar Jahel, and out into touch. Alagote with a shot, this one's blocked, and Jahel will take from defence here. Tries to take it down the line, can't, and cleared away there by Garnham. So Jahel still. Alagoda. Back to Jahel. De Philippus. Alagoda. Garner gets an all-important touch in there. Azimi. Jahel. Now to Alagoda. Tried to get it to De Philippus, but ends up all the way back with Rain Blauberg. Garner has the run of Cruz, goes to Garnham instead. Alagoda wins it back. Big chance, tried to get it to Azimi, but too central was that ball. And that ball by Blauberg over the head of Garnham. Tran to De Philippus, now Jahel. Sayed, here's some space for Inter, but De Philippus' ball just couldn't find Sayed. Garner loses it. Alagoda cuts it outside, still going. Cleared away by Garnham. And just a few words now here between De Philippus, Garnham and referee Gab. Now Alagoda here to bring it in. Sayed. Alagoda. Jahel cuts it inside. Out to Sayed. Alagoda. Down the line. Sayed was the target, but Blauberg uses his body, positions himself well. On comes Karim Youssef for Cumbre. That ball out into touch. Long ball gets to Garner. Manages to turn around Alagoda. Jahel gets back though. Still going, Garner beats Jahel and Alagoda. The shot just goes wide and Garner not happy with no foul being called. De Philippus to Jahel. Jahel down the line does well. Youssef gets a touch in. Alagoda. De Philippus. Good long ball, finds Jahel, but just wasn't able to control it. It was a great ball, but those are always going to be hard to control when they've got height on them. Long ball here by Fonseca. Goes out. Shot from Alagoda straight into the hands of Blauberg. Hayes just wide of the target, Youssef. In to get a chance here. De Philippus. Jahel. Alagoda. Out to Sayed. Jahel. Cruz does well enough, but Jahel still going. Now he has Fonseca to beat. And Cruz ends up winning it. Fonseca. All the way back to Blauberg. Blauberg goes long. Head on it from Cruz. De Philippus. Sayed through, but Fonseca gets there. Youssef thinks about going back to Fonseca just before he could. Sayed gets a touch in. Fonseca to Cruz. Back to Fonseca. Now Hayes. Youssef. Tried to take it. Past Jahel, but the touch was heavy. And Tran now. Sayed just overruns it. Ends up back with Jahel. Sayed, ball just stays in. Houston through the centre. But all of Cumbre's defence is back. Hamadi. Bit of fancy footwork, goes back to Houston. Sayed, Alagoda, shot. follow-up chance. Saeed almost. Houston. Gladberg gets back. And once again, Inter unable to capitalise. A number of chances that have been quite similar, where they just have not been able to put it into the back of the net. Here's Saeed. And I think Hamadi was trying to find Houston, but to no avail. Fonseca to Garner. Thompson tries to go down the line, but ran out of real estate. Now to be Saeed. Saeed to Ziba. Houston cuts it inside. Can he get a shot off? Cuts it back all the way to Hamadi with a shot deflection. And Gladberg gets there and just clears it away. So it still will stay with Inter. Pretty stiff for Inter to be down 3-0. They haven't played a poor game. They've had their chances. It just hasn't fallen their way. And Cumbre have been pretty clinical when they've had their opportunities. Saeed will bring it in. Chance for Houston, deflection almost past Gladberg. Just will now be a corner to be taken by Betim Ziba. Ziba. Houston, nice touch. Almost got it to Hamadi. Hayes clears it away. Couple flicks by Saeed, ends up with Fonseca. Hayes, Thompson. Likes running down the line and does it well, beats Saeed. Ends up with Ziba though. Ziba takes his time, ends up going back to Houston. And the ball from Saeed though, out of the reach of Ziba. Now Rosano. Long ball, Fonseca. Defended by Saeed. Saeed goes down, Fonseca. Finds Hayes in the end. Gets a shot off, catches the post. Thompson, potential handball there, not called. Garner. Garner goes back to Hayes. Ends up now with Houston. Houston long ball, no one there. It'll be a Cumbre ball. Rosano goes long. He's back on now for Blauberg as Tran just stumps that away. Flick here from Fonseca, but Saeed read it well. Garner tries to get it to Hayes, but Tran there. Tran with a long ball. That's a good throw. Found Saeed, who keeps it in. Fonseca to beat, he cuts it inside. Garner gets there. No foul called. Now a chance on the counter for Thompson. Gets it out to Garner. Fonseca! Just wide left. Close. And Saeed not happy with that non-call against Tyler Garner. Ziba, Saeed. Hamadi, Garnham to beat. Cuts it inside and gets it to Saeed. Houston. Ziba back to Houston, gets to it. But Cumbre is just so solid and well drilled in defence. Forcing him all the way back is Thompson, still going. And eventually a foul is called. And a yellow will be given to Nesta Fonseca. on the sideline. Wasn't happy with the non-foul call and received a yellow in response. Houston, Syed. Houston with a shot. Block there, ends up with Rosano. Rosano long ball. Now it's Tran's turn. And Tran goes long. Zeba there with Garner to beat. And Garner does enough. Garner, Hayes. Just can't keep it in. And Zeba. Nice little contest win there for Zeba. With Syed to take. Zeba again. Garnham though goes back to Rosano, who split Thompson and Garner with that ball. .5 minutes to go, so Inter are running out of time. Tran, long ball, catches the head of Garnham, out to Garner, back to Garnham, that is clinical. Garnham has Thompson at the back post, probably could have had a shot himself, as Houston was right there. And Garner does tell Garnham, next time, just go for it yourself. Hayes, Garner. Garnham, back to Garner. Calls for the run of Hayes and finds him, but Hayes just couldn't quite control it. Pretty much a perfect ball. It just went under his foot. Syed, long ball. Zeba playing that target role. Thompson defending. Zeba, back to Hamadi. Houston. Nice feint. Now a bit of a screen from Syed. With a block, ends up with Rosano. That long ball is going to be too long, and no one there. In comes Zeba. Yusuf with a flick, but Syed up to the task and cleared away by Ches Houston. Fonseca will bring it in. Looking very comfortable right now. Rockingham Cambio Cumbre. And we'll chuck on. Yusuf on. For Inter and Cumbre respectively. Long ball intercepted by Fonseca. Gets to Thompson. Now Hamadi pounces onto it. Can't beat Yusuf. Thompson. Out to Hayes. And Syed will just let that go. Syed to Houston. Back to Lukman Syed. He cuts it inside dangerously. But does well enough. Now he loses it. Hayes. And Syed leaves that for Raiden Tran. Called from Cumbre for a handball, not rewarded. Ball behind Syed. 2-on-1. Thompson. Yusuf, big save by Tran. Here's Fonseca on the left, behind Thompson, who just keeps it in. Hamadi in a battle with Thompson, and he does well to win body position. Thompson wins it back, now loses it. Back roll by the Philippines, no one there. As was that from that ball from Hayes. Ball is bouncing everywhere right now. And quick sub by Jahel, perfect timing. He goes back to Houston. Houston to Omulchuk. Dangerous, but finds Houston. Jahel cuts it outside. Can he get a shot off? He can. Big save by Rosano. And Rosano has just been stopping absolutely everything so far tonight. And another block there from Cumbre. This time on the wall. Another one, and that's Karim Yusuf stopping that Omulchuk shot. Jahel receives it back from Houston. Long ball, and now Rosano, too much on it. And Tran comes out, just clears it. Long ball over the head, straight back to Tran, no, straight back from Tran to Rosano. Here's De Philippus. De Philippus still taking on the whole team, now loses it. 2-on-2. Hayes cuts it inside on Jahel. Out to Cruz, shot goes wide. Tran with another long one. I think even if they didn't catch the roof, it was going to go straight into the hands of Rosano. It looked like it was going to be too much on it anyway. Now there's 8.5 minutes to go, and still Inter are yet to trouble the scorers. Fonseca, Garner, Cruz's shot's blocked. But looking ever so comfortable at Cumbre. And Fonseca now to bring it in. Fonseca receives it back from Garner, now gives it to Rosano. Rosano, Cruz's ball out to Fonseca is good. Hayes, Fonseca. Tries to take on Omuchek down the line, loses the battle. Omuchek does well now, he will lose it. Garner wins it back. And we'll chuck back to Fonseca. Fonseca, back to Rosano. Through to Garner. Cruz, back to Garner. Just can't get anything on it. Chance for the counter from Inter. Jahel, out to Houston. Into Jahel, shot. And just wide. And Hayes absolutely loves it. And Cumbre once again standing up on defence. Jahel, shot blocked by Cruz. Now Garner on the counter, has the run of Cruz. Sassigo himself and falls over. Jahel gets it to De Philippus. De Philippus, can he get a shot off? Blocked by Fonseca, chance for Omuchuk. And another big block, and the clean sheet is still intact. That ball goes all the way back, but unintentionally, but ends up with Tran. Dangerous, cleared by De Philippus, and the touch there by Garner's heavy. Here's Jahel. Garner, that is a brilliant tackle. Shot on the left, big save by Tran. Fonseca. Hayes, back to Fonseca. Cruz. Garner, all the way back, finding Rosano, who goes long, and far too high. Tran goes long himself, and that's going to end up with Rosano. And both players go down, and normally when that happens, no fouls are called either way. So probably the right decision by the referee. Alagoda. Jahel. Long ball by Houston. Gets to Alagoda, who just can't control it, and allows Rosano to get there. Now Alagoda to bring it in. Jahel. Shot by Jahel there, saved easily by Rosano. That long ball, just no one to go to. De Philippus running through the centre of the court. Has to go back to Jahel. Jahel inside, Alagoda. Tries to get it to De Philippus, but Fonseca cuts it off. Charlie Garnham, Fonseca looking for the ball now from Garnham, but Garnham goes back to Garner. Garner again, not his best touch, but recovers easily. Garner to Fonseca. Fonseca cutting it all the way to the far flank. Ball won back by Jahel, who just manages to keep it in. Houston, De Philippus. Garner gets a touch in, and it'll be taken by De Philippus. Jahel, De Philippus, down the line, too much on it. And Fonseca uses his body well, but Alagota gets there. And a foul will be called against Nishan Alagota. And that will be a timeout called by Rockingham Cambio Cumbre. Just over 5 minutes remaining, and it is looking like an uphill task from here for Inter. And we're back, long ball by Garner, intercepted by Houston. This game probably hasn't lived up to the hype so far anyway. 3-0, and it's been 3-0 for quite a while now. Inter just haven't been able to find a way through. It's really just been the tale of Cumbre being too good so far. Despite Inter having their chances, they just haven't had that polish. Long ball by Garner, intercepted by De Philippus. Garner all the way back. Rosano, Garner, he takes off. Jahel gets back though. They're still fighting Inter. Garner goes all the way back now. Alagota using a bit of body. Still fighting with Garner. He comes back the other way. Goes down, and a foul will be called. A yellow given to Alagota. And that will be the second foul of the evening so far. In fact, of the second half for Inter. Rosano long, one back by De Philippus. De Philippus with a turnover. Chance on the counter, and another foul. This one will be on De Philippus. Garnan goes down. That's 3 fouls on Inter. And it's looking more and more unlikely every second that goes by that Inter are going to find a way in this game. Garnham. Rosano. Garner finds Hayes. Chance for Yusuf, almost flicks it in. And brilliant save there by Raiden Tran. Rosano. Blocked there by Jahel. Ball gets to Hayes, and just no one on the end of that header. Almost found the back of the net as well, just straight across the face of goals. De Philippus cuts it inside. Alagota back to De Philippus. Going all the way back. Garner putting all sorts of pressure on. Tran will now take. Jahel, Alagota. Dangerous, and this high press that Cumbre have been playing for a lot of this game has been causing all sorts of problems. The foul will be called there on Cumbre. It's a rolling foul. That's 3 each now. Rosano's long ball is good. Finding Hayes. He's on target, but Tran there. Long shot. And Rosano gets back. It was on target. Not a bad effort there by Raiden Tran. Long ball. Yusuf can't flick it back in. Tran. Long ball, and Garner gets a touch on it. Doesn't stay in. So Inter will take. Hamadi. Ball ends up with Garnham. Back to Rosano. And now Tran to take in goals. Tran to Houston. Back roll finding DeFilippis. He loses it. And wins it back from Garnham. Nice flick to Houston. Houston, great ball. Finds Alagoda. And another big save by Rosano. He has just been a brick wall all evening long. A few minutes he went off for Blauberg, but he came back on and started right where he's left off. That shot's blocked. Houston with a shot. And gee, that was close. Just wide. Long ball over the head of Garner. That's a good ball by Hamadi. Finds Saeed. Tries to get it back to Hamadi, but Fonseca cuts it off. The long ball gets to Garnham. Can he get it past Tran? No, Tran did just enough. He's also been quite good tonight. Only conceding 3, but he's made a number of saves. Garner. Fonseca. Rosano. Turnover. Alagoda can't punish again. Tran. In fact, again, Rosano has made a save. He's just been doing it all night long. Hamadi. Obviously, that was his turnover, but did enough to not let that turnover result in a 4th goal, or result in the breaking of the clean sheet. Chance for Garnham on the counter. He'll reset, goes back, and a nice pressure here by Inter. Hamadi gets a touch on it. That's not going to stay in, and that's going to be taken by Cumbre. Fonseca to take. Fonseca. Back to Rosano, who goes long and out and into touch. Minute and 54 seconds to go now. Hamadi, Tran with a long ball, but nowhere near his target, Alagoda. Hayes gets it to Fonseca. Now, Garner under Saeed pressure. Tries to take it down the line, but ran out of room. Saeed. Alagoda, Saeed. Tries to get it to Houston, can't. Garner wins it and he can take off. Alagoda, great ball finding Saeed, but it's a 1-on-3, so they'll have to reset. Hamadi tries to take it down the line, but loses out. Fonseca. And this result will allow the West Coast Cobras to close the gap on Inter with their win last night. Unless Inter miraculously turn things around in the next 60 seconds. It'll close that gap to just 2 points, while Cumbre are looking like they're going to be moving to top of the table now. Long ball by Hayes, and that's going to go out. Houston to bring it in from touch. Tran down the line, finds Hamadi, but Fonseca gets there. .40 to go now. It's been a pretty disappointing result for Inter, and it could be 4-0. It will be, will it? No. Saeed just got a touch on it, stopping Garnham at the back post. But it has been disappointing. They would have come here tonight full of confidence, had a great season and beaten Cumbre a few times in recent memory. But it just wasn't to be tonight. 3-0 currently the deficit. They'd like to at least get one back here up. But with Cumbre taking the ball, it might be a bit challenging. Fonseca to bring it in. And for Cumbre, from their perspective, it's just been class from beginning to end. Headlined by Christian Rosano making countless saves in goals. But those few, they got a couple early goals as well, just gave them a lot of momentum, and they haven't looked back since. And that ball's added to touch. Houston, 6 seconds left for Inter to potentially break the clean sheet, but Cumbre are going to take the 3 points. Alagoda, Houston has a shot, and that will do us. 1.6 to go. It'll be a side ball, will it? Garner to take, and that is going to be it. Cumbre proving their class here tonight at Port Kennedy. It's been an intense game from start to finish, but also one-sided when it comes to the scoreline. Inter had their chances, but Cumbre were able to hold them off for 40 minutes without conceding. All credit goes to Cumbre and Christian Rosano. Inter will bounce back. A few games left in the lead up to finals, but Cumbre get the chocolates. Thank you for watching. We'll get the stats up in just a moment, and we'll be with you next week for some big games of futsal to come.